Now, how does Doom Eternal run on the Nintendo Switch 2? Welcome back to another DRK video. All right, Switch 2 is out now. Everyone's testing a lot of games. I wanted to take a look at how the Switch 1 version of Doom Eternal was looking and running on Switch 2, along with any other improvements that I noticed. So let's start off with what we know about the Switch 1 version. Now, at least according to Digital Foundry, Doom Eternal on Switch ran at a dynamic resolution in docked mode, ranging from around as high as 720p, but dipping to just below 540p. The frame rate though was pretty decently consistent on Switch 1, hitting the frame rate cap of 30 FPS, with some occasional dips here and there when it came to really hectic gunfights. Now, as far as what I was able to find on the Switch 2 version, since the frame rate and resolution are both capped at 720p and 30 FPS, so that means the Switch 2 version will be running the game at its highest frame rate and its highest possible resolution at all times, which does give it a pretty decent level of image quality. Right? That's about as playable as the Switch 1 was able to run it in only select perfect conditions. But another area that I actually found some improvements was the load times, which were extremely fast. Really no time at all from the game over screen right to where you can press A to hop right back into the game, literally just a second or two. The Switch 1's load time could take over a minute at times. It was extremely low at loading the entire game back in after a death.
This is raw Argent energy. The suffering on Earth, the bloodshed, all of it for this. Once the soul is extracted, the husk of the human body will over time transform into the demons you fight now. The extracted soul that remains will power their will. The essence of hell.
For me, even if Panic Button, the developers, just unlocked the frame rate and max out the resolution to 1080p as a free update, that would be, I'd be pretty happy with that. That would be great, very enjoyable still, but a Switch 2 update patch wouldn't be bad either. I'd be willing to spend $5-10 for, post-processing, higher resolution textures, things like that. That would be nice while we wait for that Doom Dark Ages port. But I'm gonna leave y'all with some more gameplay here for you to check out for yourself. Let me know what other games you guys would like me to run and do some frame rate tests for on Switch 2, any Switch 1 games. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate you. And I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. Peace out.